Welcome to the first video on the subject computer networks. So the first topic is all about introduction of application layers. So in this video, we'll be seeing about the overall and overview and the basics of computer networks and how are they being used and what was the prehistory of computer networks and how this come into existence. So when we are talking about the prehistory, like in the initial period, the communication was all about smoke, fire, then drums, which were the sound. So there are different types of communication. Communication is nothing but sending out a piece of information or conveying a piece of information from one person to another person. When it comes to computer networks, here we use the term devices for conveying or converting the information. So some other examples were like in the Before Common era, they were pigeons and hydraulic semaphore in the Greek 4th century BC, like you can see in the picture. So these were some of the tools through which people started to communicate. So why does this come under computer networks? Because basically network is something which we use to send the data or which we use as a medium for communicating with each other, like device to device or computer to printers. So in the current era, like in 1790s, it was semaphore lines, and in 1800s, it was heliograph, and in uh, 1830s, it was electric telegraph, and in 1870s, it was telephone. So this is how the evolution of the communication devices have evolved. And in the current era, again in 1890s, it was radio, then it converted into television, and then into satellites. So these are some of the pictures of it. So when we come into the computer network, so through evolution of computers, uh, initially these were standalone devices which were used for research purposes, and then these were manufactured from different manufacturers and were unable to communicate with each other since they were different from each other. And then the Advanced Research Projects Agency and the Department of Defense was interested to find ways to connect these personalized computers. And then in association for the computing machineries meeting, the ARPA, they presented the idea, a small network of connected computers. So from this, we understand that even though initially computers was there, uh, the difficulty in communicating between these computers was the problem, and from which the concept of networks or the idea of networks has evolved. So each host computer would be attached to a specific computer, and this is called as the interface message processor. So this in turn it would be connected to another computer. So each IMP, they'll be able to communicate with another one with its own attachments. And then in 1969, the ARPANET Reality 4 nodes were used, and it was connected via the IMPs to form the network. So in reality, these initially these connected the 15 nodes, and the emails were introduced, and then uh, Vint and Bob, they both who were a part of the core groups, they collaborated, and that's called as interneting project. And then they introduced TCP and IP protocol. Protocol is nothing but a set of rules that is being introduced uh, so that the sender and the receiver could send the informations in a proper format. And then the emergence of different networks. So here the University of Hawaii, they had the first public demonstration of wireless data network, and then the DARPA satellite, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, and then the commercial ones. They invented the first link state routing protocol. Here, why do we actually learn about it? Because confusion may arise between the terms like bandwidth, protocol, noise, transmission modes, and all. And then we would need a simple explanation about it, and therefore, understanding what the problem is more important. So, as we said before, these are the list of computer networks that is existing and how they have evolved and what are the uh, evolutions happen, like internets or connecting tools. And here generating the solutions, like there are different types of computer networks. So the basic idea it is to break the complex terms into simple definitions and use step-by-step explanations of for the communication process. And there are two types of links. One is point to point and another is multi-point. So point to point is nothing but the direct connection between the workstations, and multi-point access that in between the workstations, the link will be connected to somewhere else. So this is how the flow of information occurs. So simplex it is in only in one direction, and half duplex it is in both the directions, but at different time intervals. But then in full duplex, it can happen at the simultaneous times. And this is the network topologies. There are four major topologies. So these are the diagrams of those topologies, and we'll be seeing these in depth in the upcoming videos. So this is a simple protocol prototype that was built. Like it has a sender, encoder, transmission medium, and then a decoder and a receiver. And these are some of the links that has been shown before. So let's continue in the next video on uh, how these are being done, and in brief we'll be seeing in the forthcoming videos. Thank you.